Hey everyone, happy Wednesday. I'm a little late, but hopefully you got my email. I sent you a note just letting you know I was running late this morning. Who is here? I think Lisa's here. What is a pop-up shop? So I'm going to show you exactly what a pop-up shop is today, but basically it's the planner template plus everything that you need to sell it, like how to get it set up on Etsy, how to market it. It comes with all of the graphics and everything else. Hi from Halifax, Canada. I have so many Canadians in my office. You know what's funny? I was talking to my friend Jessie. She lives in Ontario, and I used to go to Canada all the time because I work for TD Bank, and I really miss ice caps. Is it ice caps or snow caps from Tim Hortons? And I looked and it said the #1 chain in all of Oklahoma is Tim Hortons, which is odd because I mean, I haven't been to Oklahoma a lot, but supposedly there are a lot of Tim Hortons there. But otherwise, it is impossible to find a Tim Hortons outside of Canada. I don't think I've ever seen one. But LaDonna, hi from Charlotte, North Carolina. Hey guys. All right, so hopefully this is working on my YouTube channel as well. I'm trying to multitask. So Darlene, ice caps, quick question. Do you use a variable text box to create monthly headings in your weekly planner layouts? I have to read that question again. Do you use variable text box? I don't know what a variable text box is, to be honest. So I don't know if I do use that. Do you mean, is it in the master pages or is it in the actual document? Is that maybe what you're asking for the weekly planner layouts? I mean, there's 5 different weekly planner layouts, and honestly, they're all different. But most of the headers are usually in the page, because when I first made weekly planner layouts, I feel like this was when I was first starting. So I really wasn't that experienced with master page layouts. So I didn't do as much, I think. But Darlene, if you have yes, in master pages, how do you change the month? Okay, to change the month, let me show you. All you have to do is go to the master pages. So let me share my screen. Okay. I'm sharing my whole screen with you, so it might look really teeny tiny. I don't know how big your screen is, but if I go to, all right, so there, I'm live on, let's mute me over here so we don't hear me twice. All right, so if I go over to InDesign. So inside of InDesign, if you go to Window and you make sure Pages is selected, and then you go into this panel, at the top you're going to see Master Pages, and then there's this really faint line over here. You can move this up and down, and underneath are the actual pages in the planner, and at the top are master pages. So the master pages, all you have to do is double click the master pages, and then you can edit inside of the master pages any text that's in there. Another way you could do that too is if you're inside of here and you want to edit something but it's on the master pages, you could just go to the actual page, right click and say override all master page items, and then it will allow you to edit within just that page. It won't change all of the master pages. It will just change that one particular page that you're working on. So I hope that made sense. But today is a surprise. I know people are probably going to be like, you didn't send out a note. I honestly wasn't even sure if I'd finish this planner on time, but I did finish it, and I made it a pop-up shop. I was just originally going to, what took me so long is I was originally just going to make it a plain planner all by itself, just a standalone template. And then I thought, I might as well just make all those different pop-up shop items. So to go back and answer Lisa's question, over here, so at the very bottom, there is a link to purchase. And the code, just so you know, it's $247 to buy the mental wellness planner. But if you use the discount code, which is MW47, then you can get it this week for just $47. And then after you finish your purchase, you'll get an option that will ask you if you want to add on the digital planner version. And that's the one where we just take the same exact contents and I repackage it so that someone can use it on GoodNotes and it looks like a real planner. It has those interactive clickable tabs on the side. So if you'd like that, you can get that for 50% off as soon as you finish purchasing the actual original mental wellness planner, if that makes sense. Camille, hey, from Ontario, Canada. I feel like every time people say they're from Canada, I'm like just green with envy. I'm like, they're probably just sitting there watching me sipping on an ice cap. Which I don't know why. I've tried, like, I don't like the Frappuccinos. They're just not the same as the ice caps at Tim Hortons, which if you've never been to Canada, the first thing you need to go when you get there is you need to go to a Tim Hortons and have an ice cap because they're magical. Lisa, can I buy only the digital planner version? You can, but then it will be full price. It will be $97, at which point you might as well have purchased the original plus the digital. I really haven't opened up a digital planner store. I don't know. I really didn't even plan to make digital planners, but people have been asking for them. So I think I might actually just launch a digital planner workshop next month and offer a special pack for all the digital planners that are out there. But right now, you can't buy the digital planner on its own. You can only buy it after you buy the original, which honestly, it will be the same price anyway. Darlene, are the digital planners good for any platform? Yeah, they should be. I mean, I'll be honest, I have not tested them out on anything. My dad bought the brand new Samsung, whatever the latest Galaxy Tab tablet is. And so I sent it to him to test it out. And I don't know how old your parents are, but my dad, I mean, I love my dad, but it just took a while to be like, click this, click that, show me this. But it totally worked on the Samsung Tab. So I did test that out. It works on GoodNotes. It works on Notability. It works on Procreate. It works on Paper 53. Pretty much any sort of, there's a lot of new, I shouldn't say a lot, there's a few new applications coming out where you can use those clickable tabs and use a digital planner. So I suspect there will just be more and more in the future. And there's no reason that you can't use it on other formats. Like back in the old days, like maybe just like a year ago, GoodNotes was really tough. Like you had to send a file to GoodNotes, kind of reformat it inside GoodNotes, and then save it as a .GoodNotes file so that it would work in GoodNotes. That is no longer the case with the newest version of GoodNotes. So it will just take a regular PDF with clickable tabs. It will work just fine. Now, just so you know, that is not going to be available until, because I'm trying to finish the Christian planner, that's not going to be available until I think the second week of July, or the first week of July, the second week of July. It'll be ready like the first half of July, but I'm doing the Christian planner first, and then I'll go back and fix the digital for this planner. Or maybe I'll do it early. Sometimes I keep saying like I have these deadlines, but I always end up doing it early. So I hope that answered your question. You're probably like, I really didn't need to know all of that information. Serena, hi Lisa, love to see your Crowdcast pop-up saying you are on Yay, another planner. Yeah, it's a surprise. So last month, I think everyone had voted for the, I shouldn't say they did definitely vote for the budget planner. But the mental wellness planner came in a really close second. So I went ahead and just put it together. So if you saw Monday's video, which went up really late, I actually just did a PowerPoint slide just to walk you through how I create planners. And I specifically walked through how I created today's mental wellness planner. You can have the slide deck, so then you can just see all 10 steps without having to take notes or anything. Darlene, awesome. Thank you. Alyssa, Zodo is the app for Android users. Thank you, Alyssa. Yes, that is correct. Zodo. All right. Let me see. Are there any questions on YouTube? Otherwise, I will just walk you through all of this. Oops. And where is YouTube? There it is. All right. Who's on YouTube? Jason. Hi, Jason from Rosendale, New York. Domestic Life 101. Hi there, Traverse City, Michigan here. Jason, Wrench, and purchase. Awesome. Okay. Yeah, let me add the purchase link. I didn't add it to YouTube. I keep forgetting about YouTube. I don't mean to. And the discount code is MW47. So this is on sale through Sunday. So you have plenty of time to think about it if you want. Vanessa, the gym swag shop, where is there a link to buy something? I just added it. So hopefully you can see that link. Vanessa, thanks. Sally, I'm excited to see the new academic planner, my 3rd year with your planners. Cool. Sally, the academic planner is already out. That came out, I think 2 weeks ago, 1 week ago. It's out. So you can actually go ahead and go get it. It's in the shop. But let's go through the mental wellness planner. So I'm going to open up Adobe InDesign, and I did kind of already walk you through my philosophy on like how I created it. And I tried to make it so it was, because I do try a little bit too much of info dumping. So I tried to do less of that and give people more space to write. So if we go over here to the top, so again, just like I said before, there's master pages and then there are actual pages inside. So if you go to window and you make sure pages is selected, you'll see this window, this pages panel. Now over here at the top, there are really not a lot of master pages. So if I open this, I double click this, you can see that this is the A/header master page, and this is the B internal pages. And basically it's the same thing, but the only difference is this color is a little darker and you have these little petals over here just for designating a new section. So this is just something to start out positive. I always hate the question like your name, you know your name, and then the date. I don't know that the date really matters. So I just thought everyone has a favorite color. They could just put their favorite color in here. You can obviously edit anything you want in here. But this over here on the left is just how to use this guide. And then, I don't know if you guys can see this. That helps. And then over here is the table of content. So I split this into 5 sections, just like I said before. So you have anxiety, victim mentality, negativity, worry, and life events. So this is a really quick note. I mean, I don't know what your background is. If you are someone who is because I looked at what other people were doing, right? And so what the Rising Tide did, their planner is actually, it's not even a planner, it's more like a guide. It's called the Mental Wellness monthly guide, and they 100% got like bona fide PhD medical doctor people to come in and write almost like blog posts inside of each section. And that's not something that I wanted to do. And I felt like this wasn't really supposed to be something you're like a big book. So in here, and you might want to change the wording again, if you're like a psychotherapist, you could take a lot of this wording out and say, this is actually a bona fide scientific journal based in medical practices. But I just wanted to make sure that everybody knew that is not what this is, wasn't doing any medical advice or anything of that sort. And then over here, whoops, is a new section. My pages are like flipping through really quick. There we go. If I just hit the page down button. Nope, that didn't work. Oh yeah, that did work. Okay, so over here, for each section, I basically just put a quote on the left, and then over on the right, I put the definition, and some of them I found from the web, some from different sources, and then just ask people just to circle like how often that they have this, right? So I didn't want a tracker. I feel like it makes it worse if you like track something. It's sort of like, to me, it's like dieting. I don't know. It like makes me obsess over food the more I like track stuff in a food blog, even though it's supposed to be helpful. I think everyone's different. So there are no trackers inside of here. I tried to put like a fun stat if I was able to find one, and then just a couple notes that honestly that I just thought were interesting at the bottom on why that section was important. Now each section then has a four pages inside of it. So this 2-page layout is just triggers. And I wanted to talk about for each section, whether it was anxiety, victim mentality, or something else, just something so you know the who, what, or when that caused something, and then a solution. So like here, who causes you anxiety? What are your solutions and coping mechanisms, right? So so getting them to proactively think about solutions versus just thinking about the problem. So a lot of things will just track the problem. So these are all different: who, what, places, situations, events. And then the next section is your resource list. So each section has a resource list and then a success log. So the resource list is just things for you, right? So usually I used to supply all of these. And if you looked at the other journals that were out there, they supplied all of this information. But I think there's more value in just finding things that are useful and resonate with you, right? So like when I was talking about in the examples, I don't like that mean boot camp style sort of chat where they're like, get off the couch, you loser, like quit being, whatever derogatory name, like to insult you, to like get you to go. Some people do like that. I'm not judging. So that's why I just kind of left it blank. Like, what kind of things do you hear or like that get you going? And then the people could fill that out. Powerful practices, maybe to help with anxiety. They really like counting down from 100 to 0 in multiples of 3 or something, which honestly, I've heard that actually works better for me, because when you count down sequentially, supposedly, I mean, it does make you more nervous, like a ticking time bomb. But when you have to count down in multiples of 3, it like gives your mind something else to think about, because, who does math in their head anymore? And so it refocuses your brain. Peace-inducing friends to reach out to. And then over here, the time you conquered anxiety, the time, how it made you feel to win. So this was more, again, trying to focus more on the success. So you could go back and look and say, hey, I was really good at that because I just walked out and avoided that situation, or I called up a friend, or I was able to redirect my attention or something like that. So that was a very long explanation, but each of these sections looks exactly like that. So you have your indignation, which is like the another way to say victim mentality, righteous anger, right? So just a lot of that is something that I think is important. You can obviously change these sections if you want, but I think victim mentality really like keeps you from like moving on. And I almost have like, and I think this is maybe more for me, like I had a big aha moment because I have victim mentality, and not really like, I think sometimes when I get annoyed, I'll say something that I think is funny, where it sounds snarky and cynical, but it's a little bit more passive aggressive. It's like borderline passive aggressive. And it just puts you in that negative mindset of like, the world is out to get you, anyone who wants to listen to you, want to complain about how hard you've had it or how someone did you wrong, right? Instead of just moving on and seeing the world as full of possibilities and seeing the world as full of hope, versus being hopeless. So that's why I put that section inside of here. Same thing, you have these the triggers, and then you have the resource and the success log, just like before. And then the next section is negativity. So again, going through some statistics on negativity and why it's important. And especially like I put down there for contagion, like it is like scientifically proven that it's contagious. So if anything, like if you took away anything as someone you were giving this to, getting rid of a negative circle is the number one thing you could do just for your overall mental health. And then again, these are all different questions, like who brings you down, what causes you to think the glass is half empty, right? And so on the right, though, every time there's a question, there is a solution that it wants you to work on. So again, the resource list, the success log, and then we move into worry. And worry and fear are closely related. Fear, actually, if you didn't know this, is a healthy response to help you with when you're in danger, to be more hyper alert. But fear is meant to be like instantaneous or very short-lived, right? Whereas worry just kind of drags on and on and on, right? And so this is where the problem is, and where you're trying to kind of cut back and refocus your brain to do more productive things instead of just worrying. There's this big misconception that if you worry about something, it like lessens the impact of it, but it actually is kind of like manifesting something that you really want, right? So like instead you should focus on things that you really want to have happen, like the positive outcomes, versus worrying about what could happen, like what bad things could possibly go wrong. And again, you have a resource list and a success log. And then this last section was a little different. These are major life events. So they have statistics that they've done. And I think the latest stat I saw was a really old one from like 1965 or something like that, on what the major life events are and how those can cause, you know, obviously a strong physiological reaction that could be usually negative, and so it can deteriorate your health. And so it's not that you want bad things to happen. It's not even like all things are bad. So for example, just getting married could be, you know, a source of stress. Getting a new job, buying a new home, these are all very exciting things. But for some reason, whenever the brain has to adjust to a new normal, it kind of freaks out. And so it's really more just about giving your brain time to adjust to the new reality, as well as I tried to take a different approach to this, without being too pessimistic, but, you know, just thinking about what are major life events that everyone is probably going to go through, whether that's getting married, having a child, starting their first job, moving into a house, right? And so what are things that you can do to sort of put a plan in place so that when something does happen, it's not catastrophic, right? It's just like when they do, if you've ever worked in corporate America, they always have disaster recovery plans. We talked about this, I think, back in March when we were talking about when COVID hit. And so people, usually the ones that plan the best, always have a backup plan, just worst case scenario, what are we going to do? How are we going to keep operations up and going? What are alternative solutions that we could consider, that we could start working on now, so that then it's not as catastrophic when it happens. So same thing, a resource list and a success log to just kind of build up people's confidence. And that's it. So that is the whole planner. I'll see if you guys have any questions, and then I'll just show you how to edit that planner. No questions. Okay. Oh, wait, Dawn. Sally, I saw it. Great. I shared it on LinkedIn. You got a like. Okay, I don't know what that is. All right. So let me show you how to edit this. It's super easy. So the cover, you have 4 different covers that you could use instead. Though I will make a note though, if you bought this, I have not loaded the covers yet. So just hold on. I'm going to load the covers for you as soon as we get off of here. But this cover right here, if you don't want to use this cover, all you have to do is delete it, all of this, and then just do a file place and place a brand new cover inside of there. So if I go into where the covers are, so let's say instead I really want to use this pink cover, and I can just drag it, click and drag, and there's the cover. There we go. So now that's my new cover for the planner. Super easy peasy. If you've never used any Adobe InDesign before, I would strongly suggest taking my free course, which is Adobe InDesign 101. And it basically just teaches you how to edit my files. It doesn't teach you all about Adobe InDesign, because that would be boring and you would lose interest in about 2 seconds. It just tells you specifically how to edit the files that I have. All right, so these pictures right here. So this one is all of the photos that you see are from Adobe stock. You're not going to have any of these photos because I'm not able to resell photos. I definitely 100% would sell them to you if I could, or give them to you if I could. But if you go over here to Window and you go to Links, I know it's very counterintuitive because you're like, I want to see images, but for some reason, Adobe InDesign calls images links because it's linking to the file. It doesn't actually embed them in, so the file isn't as big. So inside of here, you can see that this file, all of these files have numbers on them. So photo stock 273864253. So if you go into Adobe stock, you can actually just look up any of these photos with that number. So if we look up, I think it's this one, there we go, 241901515. 2419. Okay, so if I go into Adobe Stock, okay, so if I go ahead and I put in 2419011515, you're going to see that photo. Obviously, it says license for me because I already purchased it, but all you have to do is buy that photo, and then you can have that exact same photo that I have here. Now, alternatively, what you could do instead is you could just not buy this photo and replace it with one of your own. Same thing for these quotes. All you have to do is double click in here, and then the mouse will just appear, the cursor will just appear, and it should have selected the type tool. So if it's not selected, you can just hit the type tool and you can say something like, I want my own quote here. I don't know, whatever you want to put there. If you want to change the fonts, same thing, just make sure the type tool is selected, and then at the top you can change any of the fonts and any of the styles, and you can change the size, and you can change anything else. If you want to change the color of the text, because I know this gets people hung up a little sometimes, make sure the type tool is selected, and then up here at the top, you're going to hit that little arrow. Make sure that the T is selected, because that's going to affect the text. This box over here affects the background, so you don't want to do that. But if I want to change the color over here, all these windows, and I want to change it to red, I just select red, and now it's red. Same thing over here. If I want to change this, I can just select that text, change it to blue, and now it's blue. So really easy. These boxes, again, are master pages. So we went over that. You can change those inside master pages. These are the icons that you received. So, whoops. So you can change out these icons, or you can delete them. And then what I did do, so I did character styles, which is a little more advanced, but if you wanted to use any of the character styles, you'll see them inside of here in Windows, Styles, and make sure character styles is selected, and then this window will pop up. So the way character styles work is I can select with the selection tool any box like over here, and then I can change it to be this character style, this one, the large, medium, small. I tried to label them for you. I didn't make a lot just because there wasn't a lot of text in here, but you can go ahead and select those and change those however you want. What else? I think that's it for this file. It's a pretty simple file. It wasn't overly complicated. These boxes over here, if you didn't like these colors, so inside of here, it's still moving. My computer's a little slow today. All right, so it's the beach ball. Why is it moving? All right, we'll try this. Hold on. Let me try this with pages. All right, there we go. Okay, so here's the thing. Some of these are grouped. So if you want to change something, you're going to first go to you're going to select this item, you're going to right click it, and you're going to say ungroup. So just left click on the ungroup, and now all of these things are individual items. So all I did before to do that, and because it's easier to move these around on the page, is I selected everything and I said group, and then it made everything like just one item together. But if you want to edit this, it's always going to be easier for you to say ungroup. And then you could change the color of this to say, I don't know, what did we have before? We had red. You could make this a red outline, and then you could make the text match and make all of the text red. Etc. So it's an easy way to change things. So that's pretty much it for editing. If you have any problems while you're editing, just shoot me an email. I'm happy to help you, show you a little video on how to do that. But let me just show you what else you got too. So Lisa was asking what a pop-up shop is. So the pop-up shop means the planner comes with all of the extra bells and whistles. So inside of here, you're going to get the PDF download. So you can actually just sell that PDF download as is. You don't have to make any changes. There's no branding on it that says Pretty Fabulous. So you can just sell it as is. It'll just look general, like it came directly from you. You have the InDesign files. If you want to edit them, you don't have to. I give you all the font information. Oh, this picture is from the business planner. I'll update that. You'll get a JPEG of each of the pictures because I know some of you like to put those into Canva, or you like to create mock-ups or something else. So you can get all of those. Over here, this is the graphics pack. Hold on, I think the screen is probably too big. Share Chrome tab. There we go. I think that'll be easier to see. Okay, so inside of here, you're going to get the graphics pack. So inside the graphics pack, you are going to get 22 different images. So everything is listed for you out here, and number 13 is 10 different icons. So that's why there's not 22 items in this list, but you're going to get all of these icons here that I made a little GIF for so you can see all of them. You're going to get the Etsy banners, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Pinterest, all of those things so you can just start marketing it right away. And then if you want, you are going to get the logos so you can just go ahead and edit those all on your own as well. You'll get the mood board if you want to change that and redo this for a new client. And then over here, you're going to get all of these bonuses. So these are the same bonuses that do come with each one. The only thing that's different is the blog post ideas. So every single time I do 50 new blog post ideas specifically related to that planner. So you have 50 mental wellness planner blog post ideas inside of here. And then everything that you need to set up your Etsy shop, connect it to Google Analytics. I've given you my swipe file. You can just copy and paste it because pretty much everybody who sells planners gets the same question over and over again. And then over here, you're going to get 3 different logo marks if you want to just kind of use them for something else or put them on different pages or social media. And then over here, oh, I hate it when it does that. There we go. And then over here, you're going to get the Instagram highlight covers. So you're going to get all of these as individual highlight cover files. You can use them yourself, or you can sell them as a bonus when people purchase your planner. And then over here, you're going to get 4 different covers in case you want something a little brighter, totally different than this sort of earthy sandy color. So you're going to get this yellow, you're going to get the pink, you're going to get the mint sort of teal color, and then this blue color. Now remember, the covers are not loaded yet. I will do that as soon as we get off of here. So give me like a little time. It'll be up within like 30 minutes, but do not download the covers yet because I'm still working on that, getting that file ready. And then if you wanted to look inside, because you're like, I don't want to sit through your whole presentation again, you can go over here and just flip through all the pages as well. So that is pretty much it. And then it is on sale this week until Sunday for $47 if you want to get all of this. Does anybody have any questions? I know I did a lot of talking. Sophia, I really like the simplistic layout of this planner and the photo choices. Great job. Sally, do we have to replace all the photos? You do not have to replace all the photos. So here's the deal with the photos. If you are going to use the PDF as is and not make any edits, you get all of the photos, right? Like it doesn't magically come out of the PDF, they're like in there. And the reason the photos can stay inside the PDF is because they're not being sold to you as individual JPEG images. That's what I'm not allowed to do. But anytime you use a photo and use it for something else, like even like you'll see book covers all the time use as stock photos, right? Those are totally fine because you're not actually giving someone the actual images. So for that, you don't need to replace any photos. If you decide to go into Adobe InDesign and start making edits, yes, you do need to replace all of the photos. that's just how it is. I don't know any other solution for the photos. So yes, that's the answer. But you can always use photos that you already have. Like you shouldn't feel compelled to use the exact same photos that I've chosen. Lots of photos will look great. Do you have recommendations for stock photo sites with recently priced extended licenses to find photos for? I mean, I 100% just use Adobe Stock. I think they have the best quality photos. I have a membership to Deposit Photos because they always sell like 100 images for like $60 or something during Black Friday. But honestly, I have 220 or something in my bank because I never really find anything on Deposit Photos that I like. I did send out an email. I want to say, was it the business? It was with the budget planner. People had asked for stock photo memberships that had diverse photos, but that was it. Sally, sorry, to find photos that can be used for products for sale. To find photos that can be used for products for sale. Sally, I don't understand your question. Sorry, but photos that can be used for products for sale. Do you mean mock-up photos? If you're talking about mock-ups, I use Placeit. So Placeit is, Placeit is just a service that has ready to go templates like done for you. It's kind of like Canva, but it has like t-shirts and mugs and other stuff like that. So you could just go ahead and use Placeit if you wanted to sell, to get product photos. I think that's what you're saying. I could be wrong. Totally guessing, Sally. So hopefully that was helpful. All right. No other questions. All right, guys. So super excited. I hope you guys really like the mental wellness planner. And I am, oh wait, someone has a question. Tony, do you have a recommendation for print providers? I always recommend Vervante. So there's a video on my site that walks you through how to get things printed with Vervante. Sally, stock photo sites with photos with extended licenses for photos that can be used for products. Oh, I see what you're saying. You can buy an extended license on Adobe Stock. I don't know how much it is, but usually, okay, that was weird. So the Adobe Stock photo site is down, or my computer is down. Okay, I don't know what's going on, but you can buy what's called the a super license. I think they're like $79 per photo. So yes, I think I could pay $79 per photo and then resell them, I think. I don't know how that works, honestly. I've not looked into that, but you could do that. Sophia, do you have any suggestions for manufacturers of thick, glossy paper? Thick, glossy paper. I do not. Sorry. I think I have. There's a recommendation. If you're inside a Planner Academy, we have pages that have been laminated, but not thick, glossy pages like magazine-style pages. No. Vervante does do magazine-style pages, though, that are glossy, if that helps. Sophia, this is the thick glossy paper that could be used to print on if customers want the planner to be printed. Yeah, I mean, you should check with Vervante. That's pretty much the only print vendor I recommend. There are probably, I don't know, 150 different, no, at least 200 different vendors inside of Planner Academy, which is no longer open. However, I am creating a vendor list that I'm going to sell. But that is on the back burner. That's coming out sometime later this summer, probably, I don't even know when. Later. How's that? I just have to get it together. Plus, a lot of the vendors, quite honestly, inside of Planner Academy are from China. And right now there's a big delay with some of the vendors in China, and there is some concern about using some of the vendors in China. So I'm just waiting, honestly, just to see what their turnaround time is, because I do have different students that are still ordering from the vendors that are in the list. And we did take a couple vendors out. So just kind of waiting through to make sure, like if I'm going to send you a vendor list of people I recommend, I really want it to be people who are still viable and able to fulfill your orders. So that's it. Camille, if we print out the PDF and make it into a book binding and not make any changes, would that be okay with the stock photos and not having to purchase it? Yeah, if you print it out, it's totally okay. You can totally do whatever you want. In fact, even like, I guess a way to sort of jerry-rig the system is you could take the pages that are JPEGs, put them into Canva, and then just write on top of them. You can't edit the like an image in Canva, like the page JPEGs, but you could like overlay text on it, and then in theory, you're still able to see the original photo, I guess, without purchasing it. That's a lot of work, but it would work. I mean, that is a workaround solution. All right, guys. So I will see you tomorrow. I have another video coming out that is all about whether or not you should sell on Etsy, because that's like the biggest question that I've been getting. And super excited, next Monday, I will be releasing a brand new template for the monthly planner, because I really think like those desk pad planners, I think those are like, I love those things. So anyways, I made a new template for that. That releases on Monday, along with, it's inside of the monthly planner template pack. So if you already had the monthly planner template pack, you're going to get that that new add-on on Monday. And that's about it. All right. And when I say that everything's going to be updated for the monthly, everything will be updated to include 2021 dates inside of the monthly planner template. So all right, guys, I hope everyone's having a great day, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.